name's Brian Budd, and this is my cheat sheet for Wednesday, April 11th. Stock market and housing. I've been talking a lot about those two recently because, well, as high as I have been on the stock market, including talking about double-digit returns this year, about a month and a half or so ago, I began to back off of the stock market, in part because I saw what was going on with energy and my projections onto what's going on, and also because I really believe that housing represents the single best value right now, especially in our area. And to that end, I'll give you a couple numbers here. 5% of real estate buyers account for 50% of all the real estate being purchased right now. What that tells you is people with big money, they've been moving money into real estate. A lot of that money has been coming from the stock market. Now, as we take a look at what's going on with the stock market, 5 straight down days. Maybe today will be better. Alcoa had good earnings after the bell, yada yada last night. But there are many different headwinds facing the stock market right now. The single biggest one is what's going on with food and energy costs. As inflation is creeping into society in a bigger way, it does two things. One, it will hurt consumer demand at some point because we aren't making enough money to keep up with the increasing cost. And two, it's going to hurt the bottom line because paying more for food and energy and everything that goes along with it, making goods and such for any company, well, that's comes straight off the bottom line profit, which means that even though I think the earnings reports coming out of companies as we get into this earnings season will by and large be pretty good, I think forecasts going forward are going to be weaker. They're going to earn less money than they would have simply because things are going to cost more. And so if for no other reason, I still remain not very optimistic on the stock market, at least over the next 4 or 5 months, and I remain extraordinarily optimistic on housing. Now here's another interesting note for you. In Palm Beach County in March, you ready for this? 69% of all home, condo, townhome sales were cash buyers. 69%, more than 2/3, that's big money. But what if you do want to take out a loan? Or what if you do sell property and somebody has a loan? Here's a trend that's becoming a big, big problem. Appraisals. This is difficult in any recovering market, but especially these days because so many new regulations have been put on what can be used as appraised values because there were some fast and loose practices that ended up taking place during the boom times. So let's say that the local real estate market is beginning to recover, meaning that the property that somebody's purchasing is at a higher price than any of the comps have come in, especially if they were distressed before. Well, it might not appraise out at that value. And in most cases, lenders will not allow you to pay more for a property than it's appraised at, even if you're going to put money down on it, because they want to make sure that their end of it, their risk is low. So what you need to do before you buy or sell a property is have a very clear picture of what the appraised value will be. We are seeing greater than 70% of all deals that don't appraise. That means that what the selling price was agreed to by a buyer don't appraise, and there's a mortgage company involved, 70% of the time those deals are collapsing. If you know what those terms are up front, rather than going all the way through the process, getting to the final week before closing, finding out the home didn't appraise and there's nothing you can do, you either have to push the closing date, go back to square one, know up front what the home value will appraise for, and if you do have some questions, you want to help the appraisal process so you can get the number you need whether you're looking to buy or sell, I do have some tips for you on the physical cheat sheet. But that is a very important detail right now. Small businesses received sentiment yesterday. Not good news. For the first time in 6 months, small business sentiment turned negative. And we actually see now that a majority of small businesses, which have been actually the companies that have still been, by and large, willing to employ people, now more than half of the businesses that had been looking to hire are saying that they're going to hold off for now because they are worried about the economy going forward. That is the cheat sheet for today. Plenty of other great pieces of information, including a free Nokia Lumina 900. Yeah, right now you can get that. Check out my cheat sheet, physical one.